So let's pick up our story of our heroes from where we left off. We left off with this moment of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that's presented Zechariah to enter into this holy place to be with his God. And we said, imagine what must be going through his life. His heart will be pounding. He carries the pressure of the people, the pressure of his position, this once-in-a-lifetime pinnacle of his career as a priest, to enter into the presence of God. He's probably going through a whole mix of emotions, the excitement, the pride, the adrenaline's going. But make no mistakes, this is a professional moment where he goes in knowing the pressure on him to cry out to God. After all his years of faithfulness, after all of his years of disappointment, this man in this moment has this opportunity to step in. What was his expectation? What was his hopes? You know, the going into the sanctuary and offering the sacrifice and burning the incense was a routine thing that had been going on for 400 years, but was something people were only allowed to do once in their lifetime. So in a split second, in a moment, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. The natural becomes supernatural. And the normal becomes abnormal. Because what we read is as he walks into the sanctuary and begins to perform his duties, he has this angelic encounter that while he was in the sanctuary, an angel of the Lord appeared to him, standing to the right of the incense altar. So right there in the moment, there's this biggest moment of his life just got bigger. The Christmas story has angels, but what do we understand about angels? In 1994, there was a survey done in America, and it said that 13% of Americans believed that they had experienced the presence of angels. And you only have to look on Christmas cards or go into the shops and you see all these charms and all these things that talk about your guardian angel. We live in a world that struggles to believe in the presence of God, but actually wants to believe in the presence of angels. They recognise their spirituality. And the problem is that over the centuries, there are many myths and many speculations that have grown up about angels. And the truth is, we live in a world where there are many false beliefs, and angels become something that's mystical, something that's ghostly, something that's other. And we might, as Christians, sometimes dismiss all of that. But angels are a biblical teaching. The Bible actually, there are 196 references to angels in the Bible. 103 in the Old Testament and 93 in the New Testament, in 34 different books of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. There is a biblical teaching about angels, whereas society would try to create some sort of mystical, new agey experience about guardian angels and praying for guardian angels. The Bible does teach that there are angels. Let me give you a definition of what an angel is. An angel is a spiritual being, and angels were created by God to serve him. The Bible makes clear that there are good angels who have been obedient and served God faithfully, and it also makes clear that there are bad angels who rebelled against God and as a result were thrown out of heaven. And we might refer to those fallen angels as demons. The Bible actually uses about 5 different terms to refer to angels. Let's look quickly at what these are. The first one is angels are referred to as seraphim. In Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 2, we see the first reference to this, that Isaiah has this godly encounter with the seraphim. But the second reference we have is that they're called cherubim. And is in Ezekiel 10 and the first 3 verses of that chapter, we see this description of these beautiful cherubs who, whereas the seraphim, their role is to proclaim the holiness of God, the cherubim's role appears to be something of the protectors of God's glory. They're there to protect that sense of the presence of God's glory. Perhaps Perhaps the definition that we're most familiar with is found in Hebrews 1 verse 13, that says that angels are ministering spirits sent from God. And so they seem to have this role that's involved in worship as messengers, as soldiers. If you read through Revelation, there's this sense of soldiers. They minister to God's people. And consequently, the Bible often refers, so take Psalm 89 verse 6, it refers to angels as the hosts of heaven. We see the hosts of heaven singing when Jesus is born. But it's also a military term where it literally sort of gives this reference to armies. And in Job 1 verse 6, we see that angels are also referred to as being the sons of God. Not literally the Son of God, but sons of God in that they were created by Jesus. Let me share with you a personal story that's quite personal to me. When my first wife died of cancer and we had her funeral, we followed that with a celebration at church. And a friend of mine, he played the violin for us as we had a celebration of her faith and her life. And on his way home, he was chatting to his 3-year-old son. And he said to his son, what did you think of the funeral we've just been to? And the little boy, in all of his innocence, said, Daddy played violin, angels came, and then I went wee-wee. And this almost made my friend sort of stop in his tracks and say, what did you say? And he said, Daddy played violin, angels came, and then I went wee-wee. Sometimes we're quick to dismiss the presence of angels, but sometimes you can be in a room and that sense of there's something different about the atmosphere. There's a presence. And we can be too quick to dismiss something of the supernatural nature of heavenly things.